Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic day. We are getting so close to the end of the things you may have missed in Elden Ring series, and today we're covering Leyndell, the capital of Ash. You meet me here now having properly respect into the Rivers of Blood, because during the episode where we first got this, people really felt I didn't give it a proper review and a proper chance, because a lot of people thought it was so much more powerful than I said it was. People did point out that I was spec'd into intellect at the time, but I just want to clarify that even though that was my stats at the time, that's not when I tried out the Rivers of Blood. I did respec into arcane before I tested it, but as you can see from my stats here, I've spec'd even more heavily into it now, with 60 arcane, 75 dex, and also the Shard of Alexander so that the corpse pilot is even stronger. Let's go and get it to plus 10 and finish the game with the Rivers of Blood. I meet you now here in the capital of Ash, just west of the site of grace that you spawn in at. You can climb up this rubble and then head up this ladder that should be very familiar to you from when we came here the first time. Up here in the second room that we come to, you'll see there is no longer a site of grace here. So should you die, there is a little bit of a longer run back than the first time we were here. Also, there are no new items at this point, so you'll see the golden seed tree has already been looted. Once you defeat them two enemies at the tree, I've skipped ahead here and gone and checked out another area for you, where we found Brother Corrin and Goldmask the first time we were here, along with the two Grave Warden duelists. There's nothing new, no items, so come back down the stairs, and you can jump off the ledge to the left here to the sandpit below. If you recall, this is the area where we went into the alternate version of the Roundtable hold previously. Now that we're in here, we can swing round and grab a Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, and also attempt to take out this gargoyle. It's at this point that I realised that as strong as this build makes me, it also makes me incredibly squishy. So I'm going to change up the build and we'll come back and revisit this guy later. For now, once I've respawned, I'm going to head towards the southwest, and this time start heading up these stairs instead. You'll see the bridge down there off to the right where we were previously, so you can just double back on yourself and come up here with me. And as we're coming up this lift, I'll show you my new build. I've now swapped out a few of the talismans, which has lowered my stats significantly, but also made me incredibly more resilient, with the Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman and the Haligdrake talisman +2. That primarily is for the Elden Beast boss fight, and a few other enemies in the area that deal holy damage. We've also still got the Shard of Alexander to greatly increase the attack power of the corpse piler, and the Rotten Winged Sword insignia for even more damage. Then I've equipped Malekith's set because it has incredibly good resistances for its weight, and of course the Silver Tier mask for the +8 to arcane. Now that we're at the top of the lift, we'll head into this room and we'll be faced with Sir Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. If you get the jump on him, this is one of the easiest fights in the game. However, if you let him start attacking, he is insanely powerful. So, 2 combos of Corpse Pilot and he has been absolutely destroyed. But I've seen this guy cause a hell of a lot of trouble to many people. So be very careful if you don't kill him in the first few seconds. Don't let this fool you and trick you into thinking that he's not incredibly powerful. We'll also be rewarded with his scepter and his armor set. So now we can light the site of grace and rest here at the Erdtree Sanctuary before we move into the next part of the video. Now that we've beaten a main boss and I'm reinvigorated and less salty from the first time the gargoyle killed us, we'll come back and try and take him out again. I'm quite impressed with myself that I haven't died, because you'll see my souls are still there on the floor, and there's been a fair bit of exploration and combat up to this point off camera. So we'll grab our souls back and start to take him out. And I'm incredibly happy because I'm only doing a smidge less damage than I was before, but I'm now so much more resilient that even when I fumble and take the full brunt of a few of his combos, I can still survive and get back up again. Because he is insanely resistant to both bleed and physical, being made of stone, Corpse Pilot isn't the most effective attack, but he does eventually go down. And we're rewarded with 8k runes and literally nothing else. So honestly, all you need to do in this area is grab the Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. Don't bother coming back and killing him, it's really not worth it. I'm also just going to go and check this corner of the room, but as suspected, there are no new items. So we'll head back to the Erdtree Sanctuary and on to the next part of the video. Now we'll head out the Sanctuary towards the east and start climbing up the branch to take us to the upper level of the building, just like we did the first time we were here. Keep heading out, and this time luckily there's no Black Knife Assassin waiting for us, so we're free to run into the next room, where we can light the Site of Grace and grab the Erdtree Heal. Now I'm going to rest up at the Site of Grace and show you a few more things before we move into the next boss. The next thing we're going to do is teleport to the Forbidden Land Site of Grace and start making our way back to the capital. So pull the lever to bring down the giant lift if you need to, take it all the way to the top and start running back towards the capital. I also decide to put on the Royal Knight set at this point. I'm not sure why, because it looks ridiculous. I think it's because it gives me slightly more stats for the weight cost, so it just makes me that little bit more efficient in regards to damage resistance. On the way there, I'm also going to take out the knights and the soldiers, because now that it's powerful, the corpse pilot is crazy fun. So that knight gets obliterated, as does the Great Bro wielding knight here, who very kindly provides me with his Great Bro when he dies. Be careful not to fall down, make sure you summon this next lift up to you, then we'll follow it down, and as you step out here and look over the edge of the balcony, you will see and most likely aggro Putrid Tree Spirit. We're going to ignore him and sprint around the edge of this area, towards this big tree trunk sticking out of the ground. As you're on your way, another one will spawn. 2 Putrid Tree Spirits. Just ignore them and run for your life. This is not a fight I advise anyone take. When you get here, you'll be able to grab yourself the Erdtree's Favour +2, which dramatically increases your health, your stamina, and your equip load. This is an awesome talisman. And as you grab it, a 3rd Putrid Tree Spirit will spawn. There's 3 of them! This is ridiculous! I'm really curious if anyone knows if these guys drop anything, because I am not fighting that. Ever. Fuck that. So we will swiftly remove ourselves from the situation, and I'll meet you back at the Queen's bedchamber. You meet me now just at the top of the stairs, buffing myself up, preparing for a very tough boss fight. We're going to enter in and be faced with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. This guy is just so incredibly strong. He is a really good example of a very challenging but very fair boss fight. Just one humanoid versus another humanoid. Once you learn his patterns and learn his moves, it becomes a manageable, yet still very challenging fight that feels fair. I honestly absolutely adore this boss fight. So I'm going to give you a super quick montage of me dying again, and again, and again, and then I will try and leave in the majority of the attempt where I do finally beat him, because I'm really impressed with myself that I didn't resort to summons, spirit ashes, spells, literally just me and my sword versus him and his axe. And I am so proud of myself that I did this fight. And of course, as you'll have seen throughout a couple of the deaths, he does also have a second phase, where he basically absorbs Serosh, his lion regent, who was actually there to suppress his ceaseless lust for battle. Now the full rage of Hoarah Loux has been unleashed, and he's now going to fight you at his full bloodlust-fueled strength. This is where the fight becomes absolutely carnage. His attacks are so quick that I can never find an opening to heal up if he does manage to hit me, and the amount of delayed attacks he has, his huge ground slams that spawn a bloody exploding earthquake beneath your feet, and all of the grabs, if I didn't mention already the amount of grab attacks this guy has as well. But finally we take him down, and we're rewarded with the remembrance of Hoarah Loux and 300,000 souls. So let me just stand here for a minute in the pose of the Golden Order totality and just soak in the immensity of what we've just done. Oh, what a fight. Now we can rest up and prepare ourselves for the last couple of bits of Leyndell, the capital of Ash, and the Elden Throne. I actually thought I recalled needing to wrap up one more thing as I was recording the video, but no, apparently we are just going straight into the next boss fight. and I end up having one of the cleanest Radagon of the Golden Order boss fights I've ever had in my life here. I kill this dude in 20 seconds. 20 in-game seconds, and he's dead. Straight into the Elden Beast. Summon the Mimic Tier. I am feeling so damn confident. Easily get him down to half health, and then this bullshit happens. Like, what? Great. So, you meet me back here now, halfway through attempt number 2. And this attempt is going equally as well. Honestly, I found this so much easier than Godfrey and Hoarah Loux. As you can see here, Corpse Pilot is making short work of him. We are absolutely obliterating his massive life bar. And in no time at all, he's on the smidgiest, tiniest little bit of health. Unfortunately, it then takes me a while to chase him down and be able to kill him. But finally, we get the killing blow, along with the Elden Remembrance and 500,000 souls. Runes. Golden runes. Never gonna stop calling them souls. That brings us to the end of the game. So let me rest up, review my options for an ending, and I'll meet you back here in just a second. As you'll see, because we've been doing pretty much every single possible thing throughout this playthrough, I have a few of the endings unlocked. So I'm gonna pick one that I haven't done yet, surprisingly. The Mending Rune of Perfect Order. I'll let the outro play out, and once that's done, I'll meet you back in Roundtable Hold for one final thing.
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord in our home across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall the age of order.
I meet you here at Enya, ready to use the Elden Remembrance to purchase the Sacred Relic Sword. This sword is absolutely god tier. I cannot recommend this enough. It is insane, and it will trivialize New Game Plus. Buy this and respec your build just to try it out. You will not be disappointed by its Ash of War. With that, I'll demo it and show you a few other things in one final Things You Missed video, along with wrapping up a few NPC questlines that we haven't done yet, such as Kenneth Height and Nefeli Loux. And there will be another addition to the Things You Missed series coming in the near future, where we cover all of Ranni's questline, because I missed that during this playthrough. And then, wait, there's more. We will hopefully be continuing the Things You Missed series when the Elden Ring DLC is released. Hopefully in the next 4 months or so, is what I've heard. So, fingers crossed. And as we are nearly at the end of the Things You Missed series, what else would you like to see? I'm diving into the top 10s as well. We're doing the armor sets, we're doing the weapons, we're doing the skills. Let me know what other content you'd like to enjoy on this channel, and I will make it happen. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. You are absolutely amazing. If you want to support the channel and help me to continue to do this, please subscribe, please like, become a member, become a patron. Anything you want to do, anything you can do to help the channel is tremendously appreciated, and I love you so much for it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.